Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Joe and cool Mr. Bear, and today I'm going to show you ways to reduce varicose veins. So let's get started. So we're going to start off with some stretches, and with the stretches we're going to use a stretch strap. You can use a dog leash or a belt, something solid though, not something like a resistive band. So if you don't have that with you, go ahead and pause real quick and go grab that. So the first stretch we're going to start off with is a calf stretch. You can do these on a couch, a bed, or the floor, wherever you're most comfortable. But go ahead and take the stretch strap. A lot of times they have loops on it, so that's nice. And then place it kind of on the ball of your foot. So not up on your toes, because then it might slip off and come and hit you, and not down low on your arch, because then you're not going to get a good stretch. So right about at the ball of your foot, and all you're going to do is just gently use the strap to pull your foot towards you. So you're not actively moving your foot, you're relaxing that foot, and you're just going to pull until you feel a nice stretch on that calf area. So with varicose veins that are through your legs, a lot of times stretching out the muscles to get everything nice and loose will kind of help calm those down or reduce those, because you're getting that circulation and that flow, blood flow in there that you need. So holding that stretch for 30 seconds, relaxing, and then you're going to switch sides. You want to make sure you do both sides, even if you maybe have varicose veins more on one side versus the other. I would go ahead and stretch both sides. So again, holding that for 30 seconds, getting that nice pull, feeling that stretch in your calf, nothing painful, but a nice good tension, slightly uncomfortable. 30 seconds, and then do that 3 times on each side. If you want to follow along with me where I'm doing the full stretches, you can click on that link up there and find all my real-time stretches. So the next one is going to be a hamstring stretch. So you can leave that strap there if you want to, but you can put it a little bit lower if that's more comfortable, or still around the ball of your foot. And then you're just going to lie down, get in a nice comfortable position. I like to prop up my other leg. A lot of times that'll just take some pressure off of your back. You don't have to. Some people like to keep it straight out, but I like to bend it up. And then again, you're using the strap to do all the work. So you're not actively lifting your leg, you're bringing it up with the strap. You can lift a little bit, but you really want the strap to do the main work there. Try and keep your knee as straight as you comfortably can. And then just pull up until you feel a nice stretch back here in your hamstrings. Those hamstrings cross the knee joint and they come up all the way to the hip joint. So it's a good, again, nice stretch just to loosen everything up in the legs if they're tight, to help increase that blood flow and just to make sure everything's moving how it's supposed to. This is another one. Hold it for 30 seconds, come back down, relax, do that 3 times. I like to alternate sides, but when you're lying down like this and it's hard to kind of switch, you can do all 3 of them on one side and then switch and do it on the other side. So after you get everything nice and stretched out, then we're just going to go into some straight leg raises. And so with the straight leg raises, now we're activating those muscles, making those muscles be a natural pump to get that blood flowing again, to work it out of the system so you're not getting so much pressure on those veins. So again, I like to keep my leg propped up with this, not only just to take pressure off my back, but to use it as a target. But again, you don't have to if you don't want to. If you pull your toes up towards you, that helps lock out your leg. Again, you want to keep it straight because it's called a straight leg raise. So that's kind of how it is. And then just come up to where you're about even with the other side. So it's not coming all the way up here. That's kind of changing the exercise and you're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing. But just come up to about right here. It actually makes it a little bit harder. And then slow and control, come back down. So it's not just up and down and up and down. You know, that's using momentum and that's not using your muscles, which is the point of using your muscles. So nice and slow, come up, and then nice and slow going down. So you can do this for a certain number of reps, or you can do it timed. So 30 seconds, you do as many as you comfortably can in 30 seconds. And then as you get stronger, then you can usually do more. So you can go faster, but you always want to be controlled. And then again, make sure you're switching sides and doing both sides. Now we're going to sit up on the edge. So these exercises seated are nice because if you're maybe at work or you're doing something and you can't lie down to do the other ones, you can do these pretty easily seated in a chair if you want to. So this one is just going to be a seated heel toe raise. And so it's kind of like it sounds. You can spread your feet out to about hip width apart, just so your knees aren't so close together. And then all you're going to do is bring your heels up, slowly come down, and then bring your toes up. So just kind of alternating back and forth. Really try and get as much motion as you can with these. So, you know, really kind of pushing up high and then pulling those up high as well. And even though you're seated, usually you can really feel these, especially if you've got, you know, some tight muscles in there. And it's doing a good work with exercises even though you're sitting down. So this is really nice to do. And again, you can go a little bit faster as long as you're controlled, but when you're doing these for the first time, I would say, you know, kind of go slow and controlled, make sure you're doing it correctly. So again, you can do this for reps, or you can do it for time, or, you know, if you're working on the computer, you can just kind of alternate, you know, do these throughout the day, alternating back and forth, going up and back. And then the next one is going to be what we call a long arc quad while you're seated, or a leg extension. So same thing, you know, if you have some room when you're sitting at a desk or something, you can do that. And so all you're doing is you're kicking out. And as you come up, I like to come up and then pull my toes towards me, because then that really kind of locks out the leg and squeezes those quad muscles at the end to really get that movement in there that you want to increase that flow. Again, for those varicose veins, you want to keep everything nice and flowing in there. And then again, if you want to do them all on one side, you can, or you can kind of alternate back and forth. Your choice. Sometimes I like the alternating back and forth just because then you're kind of giving one side a little bit of a break, or you're just getting that, you know, nice alternating side. And again, you can go a little bit faster, but make sure you're controlled while you're doing it. So faster is fine as long as it's controlled and you're not just using momentum while you're doing it. So there you have it. Those are ways to reduce varicose veins. If you'd like to help support my channel, make sure and click on the link up there. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.